A ship lost in the sands. How 500-year-old treasures of the Portuguese Empire were found in the African desert. It disappeared in 1533 on its way to India and was found in the desert, hundreds of meters from the ocean. Gold coins, copper ingots, and cannons lay untouched for almost half a millennium. The sensational discovery of 2008, how local diggers stumbled upon a ghost ship in the Namibian sands. The secrets of Bom Jesus, why no one looted the treasure chests for 500 years. Navigation instruments and muskets, what the artifacts revealed about the mysterious demise of the crew. Sand preserved the ship better than seawater. Why does this discovery rewrite the history of the Great Geographical Discoveries? Deciphering the main maritime mystery of the 16th century. Read it before the artifacts go into private collections. Almost 5 centuries ago, a ship called Bom Jesus, which translates from Portuguese as Good Jesus, set sail from the port of Lisbon. This ship belonged to the era of the Great Geographical Discoveries, a time when navigators sought to find new trade routes and brought untold riches from distant lands. Bom Jesus was headed for the shores of India, like hundreds of other Portuguese ships of that time, which were involved in the lucrative but deadly trade in spices, gold, and ivory. However, its journey ended tragically. A powerful storm struck the ship on its way, and it disappeared without a trace. The sailors of Lisbon hoped for a long time that the ship had survived and simply strayed off course, but it soon became clear that the crew had perished, and with them, untold treasures had disappeared. For almost 5 centuries, no one knew where Bom Jesus lay. It was not until 2008 that the story took an unexpected turn. Workers at a diamond mine off the coast of Namibia stumbled upon strange wooden structures and metal objects buried in the sand. When archaeologists arrived, it became clear that they were looking at the remains of an ancient ship, miraculously preserved in the middle of the desert. Yes, the Bom Jesus was found far from the sea, in an area now covered by the lifeless Namib Desert. But 5 centuries ago, the ocean raged here. Over time, the water level receded, the coastline changed, and the sands swallowed the ship, preserving its remains and cargo almost intact. Along with fragments of the ship, archaeologists discovered a real treasure: hundreds of gold coins, copper ingots, cannons, and sailors' personal belongings. But the most surprising thing is that some of the finds did not go to scientists, but to local workers who were the first to stumble upon the relics. Several gold coins disappeared before the researchers arrived, which is not surprising since the value of the discovery could not be immediately realized. When experts began to analyze the find, they confirmed that it was indeed a 16th century Portuguese ship that had sunk in 1533. Its cargo was of enormous historical value. It was a kind of time capsule from the age of discovery. And although the story itself sounds almost mystical, a ship that disappeared in the ocean and was found centuries later in the desert, scientists explain it quite rationally. The coast of Namibia is known for its skeleton coast, a place where hundreds of ships have found their demise due to fog, currents, and treacherous coastal rocks. It was here, in all likelihood, that the Bom Jesus was wrecked, and the desert sands did what the ocean could not. They preserved history intact. We are talking about an amazing place, the coast of Namibia, where the ocean once raged and now stretches a lifeless strip of sand and stones. It was here, among the dunes and diamond mines, that the remains of the Portuguese ship Bom Jesus, lost in time for almost 5 centuries, were discovered. Under a layer of sand several meters thick, archaeologists found not just the wreckage of an ancient ship, but a whole treasure trove, evidence of the age of discovery. The main wonder of the find was its cargo. Despite the passing centuries, it remained almost intact. Among the sands of the desert lay gold coins, copper ingots, ivory, as well as precious stones and artifacts. The fact that they have survived to this day in such good condition suggests one thing: no one has ever reached this place before. The ship, which sank off the coast, was literally buried under the sands, which preserved its contents for centuries, as if in a natural safe. But the significance of this discovery goes far beyond the material. Scientists have been given a rare opportunity to look deep into the 16th century and understand how people of that era lived, sailed, and traded. The study of the cargo, tools, navigation equipment, and even the crew's clothing has made it possible to reconstruct the details of maritime expeditions and the characteristics of the trade routes of the Portuguese Empire, whose ships sailed the seas from the Atlantic to the Indian Ocean. The key to solving the mystery was the discovery of gold coins bearing the image of Portuguese King João III. These coins confirmed that archaeologists were dealing with the very same Bom Jesus that disappeared in 1533. The coins also helped historians better understand the economic policy of the time, as they reflected the scale of maritime trade and the exchange of metals and riches that flowed into Europe from the colonies. The Bom Jesus ship departed from Lisbon in March 1533, during the reign of Manuel I the Fortunate, the monarch under whom Portugal reached its zenith. It was an era when every ship that left the harbor carried not only goods and gold, but also dreams of new lands, discoveries, and glory. According to researchers, Bom Jesus may have been not only a merchant ship, but also a warship accompanying the expedition fleet and protecting trade caravans from pirates and competitors. Thus, the tragic fate of one ship became a unique window into the past. It told of the risks and grandeur of sea voyages, of people ready to challenge the ocean, and of how time can preserve traces of human history, even in the silent sands of the desert. Based on the reconstructed route, researchers concluded that Bom Jesus was heading towards the West Indies, following the traditional 16th century sea route, along the west coast of Africa, then around the Cape of Good Hope. It was a dangerous and unpredictable journey of thousands of miles, but it was along this route that Portugal conducted its greatest trading expeditions. Such ships carried the most expensive goods of the era: spices, gold, silk, copper, and ivory. Each voyage could bring the ship's owners a fortune and the crown new wealth and influence. Bom Jesus was no exception. In its holds, archaeologists found not only gold and copper ingots, but also unique artifacts: bronze bowls, navigational instruments, a musket, cannonballs, and cannons. All this suggests that the ship served not only a commercial purpose, but also a military expeditionary one, combining both commercial and defensive tasks. Scientists were particularly impressed by how well preserved the wreckage and objects were. The Namib Desert, where the ship was washed up after its demise, acted as a kind of sarcophagus. The sand and dry climate isolated the remains from moisture and oxygen, thanks to which the cargo survived almost in its original form. It is this natural preservation that has made Bom Jesus the oldest and most valuable shipwreck found south of the Sahara. As for the causes of the disaster, the most likely version is that a severe storm forced the ship to sail too close to the shore. The coastal waters of Namibia are home to dangerous reefs and shifting sandbanks that have wrecked ships for centuries. Presumably, the hull of the Bom Jesus was holed, causing the ship to capsize and sink. Curiously, no human remains were found at the site. This has given rise to two opposing hypotheses. According to one version, the crew managed to escape by reaching the shore and possibly heading inland. According to the other, the sailors' bodies were swallowed by the ocean, and the storm simply washed away all traces of them. Be that as it may, the ship remained where the elements interrupted its journey, in the sands of the silent desert, becoming a silent witness to the ambitions, risks, and tragedies of the Age of Discovery.